Hello and welcome to Monday Morning Movie Talks with Matt on the Fuzzy Loaf channel. My name is Matt, and this is a show where I break down the weekend box office numbers, discuss and make predictions for next week's movies. So let's get right to it. This weekend's box office numbers: at number one, we have newcomer San Andreas at $53.2 million. At number two, we have Pitch Perfect 2 at $14.3 million, which is a drop of 47%. At number three, we have at $13.8 million, which dropped 42%. And then at number four, we have Mad Max Fury Road at $13.6 million, which dropped 55%. And then finally, rounding out the top five, we have Avengers Age of Ultron at $10.9 million, which dropped 50%. So my thoughts for this weekend's box office numbers. I actually got 5 out of 5 from last week's predictions, which is pretty sweet. And I got pretty close to the estimations of how much each movie would make. San Andreas made a little bit higher than I predicted, which was between 40 and 50 million, and Pitch Perfect 2 and Tomorrowland both made about 3 million less than I expected, but otherwise Mad Max and Avengers were just about right on. And then also notable is that the Avengers have been able to stay on the top 5 since its release, so this is the 5th week that it's been in the top 5. Hopefully Mad Max can hold on for a few more weeks so that we can guarantee a sequel within a timely manner. Its production budget was around $150 million, and they didn't disclose the marketing budget, but I'd guess that's probably around another $150 million. And it's only at a $281 million which sounds like a lot of money, but take into consideration that that's many distributors have taken a cut, and before a cut as well. And those are estimations from Box Office Mojo, so we don't know if those are 100% accurate. And then it's also worth that Mad Max made an extra $7 million on Memorial Day. So even though their box office numbers were they still were lower than Tomorrowland and Pitch Perfect. They made it a sizable amount on Monday. So I think it's still got some time up its sleeve. Coming out this week for June 5th, we have HBO's Entourage, which opens actually the 3rd, which is Wednesday. For anyone who doesn't know, Entourage is a fictional show revolving around an actor trying to make his career within Hollywood, and alongside his friends and his agent. There are a lot of real actors, and I'm sure the same thing will happen in the movie. And for the most part, it's a comedic show, so the movie will feel like a supersized episode of the TV show as well. People who have seen it early, which is great if you like the show. Also new, we have Spy, which is a new action comedy. McCarthy. So a few of these now, but we'll see how well this one does. The movie is about a desk-bound CIA who volunteers to go undercover to infiltrate the world of a deadly arms dealer and prevent diabolical global disaster. There's some pretty big actors and actresses who are in the movie, and it looks like it's funny from the commercials, but it also looks like a typical Melissa McCarthy movie. See whether that does well or doesn't do as well. And then finally, for the big 3 movies that are coming out this weekend, we have Insidious Chapter 3. So this is a horror movie. If you haven't seen any of the other movies in the series, and although this is the 3rd movie in the series, this will be a prequel, and will follow the gifted psychic Elise Rainier, who agrees to use her ability to contact the dead in order to help a teenage girl who's become targeted by a dangerous supernatural entity. Dermot Mulroney, I don't know how to say his name, and Stephanie Scott, who I think is like a Disney star or something. In the previous movie, Insidious 2 did, I think, like 40 million its opening weekend, so I think, although that was closer to, that one released in the fall, so I imagine that was while people were getting into the horror movie mood. I don't know how well this will do given that it's a summer movie, but I guess we'll get to that in my predictions. So